What are we talking about? Year-end type stuff?
Yeah, we're just gonna go over the year.
The whole year?
The whole year, Steve. The whole year.
It's been an interesting
Why they
year.
call it a year in review, Steve.
Is that what it is? A year in
January 1st, 2019. Go, Steve.
I woke up, went downtown to look for a job. You know how it goes, Steve. How many years have we been doing this now?
1, 2,
Yeah, keep going.
7, 6.
Somewhere around there.
It's got to be that, yeah.
I don't know. I think
It's
this is
one of those.
I think this is the 7th New Year we've done.
What the hell?
Man, that is
I
crazy.
think this is,
What the hell
I
are we
think this
thinking?
is 7. If I can get everybody to mute, we will start the show.
Where is the mute? How do I do that?
I can mute you myself,
Okay,
Fred.
perfect.
I'll take it, and I'll bring you back on when we start.
Sure.
Bum, bum, bum.
Once a week, 3 laddies come together from distant lands to talk about Bigfoot, Martians, ghosts, time travel, chupacabras, and the Sweetwater legend.
I think we're all huge fans of the Sweetwater legend.
This is the Fortean Slip. With your host, Chris York,
Say no to Quaaludes? Fuck no. Wait a minute. No. Say yes.
co-host Steve Alcorn,
Like, take a break, shut my camera off, grab a
Yeah.
sandwich.
and sometimes special guest Matt Knapp.
Just
Right into it.
accept it for what it is and just watch it and enjoy it.
They don't know who you are. They don't know what you want. If you're looking for entertainment, you may have come to the wrong podcast. But what they do have is a very particular set of skills.
There are no cows.
No cows.
No.
No cows were harmed in the making of this incident. We often wish that your relationship went much like that of the praying mantis.
I thought that was a reference to everything being green.
Yeah, sure you did. Carry on, gentlemen. I'm going to do something else for a little while.
Wow, Steve, would you like us to stop the program so you continue to do your shit?
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening and welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 117, 2019, the year in review. Joining us again, I don't know how many times you've been on the show now, Fred.
17.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Steve. You're what? How fucking much more lackluster could you be tonight, you piece of shit?
I
You're
gotta get
going
back in
fucking
the groove.
holiday. You come back, you're a prick.
I gotta get in the groove.
What,
Not there yet.
fucking smoke a joint. Do something.
Don't have it.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we've had you on the show now, Fred.
I think it's been a few. I know I did a bunch a long time ago, probably only like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, you and I did the Daily Dose together for a while.
Yeah, we did. And I think, I got pretty busy with some artwork. And plus, sometimes some of the attention I got wasn't quite so positive. Some people didn't like some of my comments, or so I'd been told over the years.
That'll happen.
Yeah, I've come to terms with that now, and I'm good with. I'm all Zen-like now. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a while.
It's hard. I mean, especially when you do something where you put your work out there and you're kind of a public figure at the same time. In your sense, that's kind of the way it is. In this, like me and Steve, Matt, we're like public figures. We put like this is us that we put out every week. It's a weird world to be in, where you're being criticized by people for something that you do to entertain them.
Yes, and yes, it is. Especially being an artist. Like, I mean, for me, like the fun is the creation and all that. And while I love all the theories and I love all the anecdotal evidence or whatever you want to call it, my biggest problem in the past and something that I've come to terms with sometimes is just like definitive comments where people are very, like, this is the way it is. I know for a fact. My stuff is blah, your stuff can't be. That kind of, what do they call that on the Joe Rogan episode or experience? Tribalism?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. Tribalism is a thing that it creates huge problems.
Yes.
When people just go with the flow. It's what's caused lynchings.
Yep.
I mean, just many great atrocities that have happened throughout history have happened because of tribalism. Now, good things have happened too. If it wasn't for people banding together into tribes, they probably never would have survived.
Yeah.
At that point in time. But it's a lot of these things that we hold on to, these old instincts that still kind of, I don't know, they hinder the forward motion, I think, of the evolution of the society of man.
Yeah.
But,
basically, I don't know if it is tribalism or whatnot, but yeah, when people are very not open to looking at other views, and I get that still, where I will draw like a representation of a Bigfoot that's inspired by, let's say, a gorilla, which I recently been uploading today. Some people will comment, that's not the way he looks or she looks, or you have to do this because I saw it and therefore this is the way it is. And we don't know anything about said creature. So, I mean, ultimately, it's an emotional experience that's being, verbally conveyed that I then have to try to draw. So, it's all, what do they call that? Subjective.
Yeah. And I don't think, I think your conceptualized drawings of Bigfoot have always been decent. I mean, Matt, have you ever had a problem with his shit?
Nah,
I've always been a fan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, conceptualized drawings are just that, conceptual.
Yes, and like with researchers that have their theories and stuff, they're all great, and I love them. But like again, I hate it when people immediately say, "Well, no, that's not the way it is. It's this way because I know."
So
and
next time, Fred, you need to draw Bigfoot with a big old "fuck you."
Yeah, I know. I should.
I recently learned a quote that I think applies to this perfectly. And it's, the madman is the only one who's absolutely sure. And basically it means you have to be fucking crazy to think you actually know something.
Yeah.
Definitively.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, even if we had said creature under glass and we were all studying it, well, not that any of us would be privy to such a mind-blowing, life-changing thing.
Discovery.
I mean, no, there's going to be a much bigger line before us. But, we'd be able to view it from, our comfort of our own homes and stuff. Like, there's going to be years of interpretation. I think it's this way. I think it's that way. And unless Bigfoot can actually sit down and say, "Yo, bro, this is the way it is."
Draw my penis a little bit longer.
Yeah, listen, man.
Hey, why don't you show my junk in those pictures, huh?
And that's another thing too. I have drawn Bigfoot's crotch and his penis, and I always thought I put some foreskin in there. But I've had comments a couple times where people weren't impressed with my penis anatomy. I'm like, it's not. I don't really want to put that as a highlight of the drawing. It's sort of, I'm trying to be all Fabio-esque, hide it in a crease and stuff.
Speaking of Bigfoot, something I actually did want to talk about tonight, which Matt brought to my attention the other day, is the new video. Who was the guy that put that out, Matt?
Emo Jesus.
Emo Jesus.
His name that he goes by is Philip Solo.
Yeah, Philip Solo, the other long lost son of Han and Leia. I think he's from Canada, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Canadian hip hop artist.
Yes. And he went out with one Todd.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I saw that.
And if you get a chance to catch that, at some point in the video when he's out in the woods or out on this expedition, he sees gorilla type costume hands in the car.
Yeah.
And when he asked Todd about it, Todd says that, oh, that must have been my assistant or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
somebody
puts
was
it off
messing
on
around.
off on his assistant, saying like, "Oh, she was gonna play a joke or something."
Right. And then when he asked her about it, she said she didn't know anything about it. But however, like when she said that, I thought that was kind of like the way she said it, I was like, I don't know if she's like trying to cover her own ass or what the deal is here.
That's not how I took it.
No, I wasn't sure how to take her reaction when.
Well, she had just given the spiel about how she's his apprentice and he's teaching her everything, and I don't think she knew that the gloves had been spotted if she was aware of them being there. And it was like she was like, yeah. She seemed like, you know how some people start laughing and smiling when they get nervous. That's how it came across to me.
That's what I mean. Like that, she was like,
I'm gonna have to ask Todd about that.
Right, kind of got caught.
Yeah, but I think I don't think they belong to her to play a joke.
No, I don't either. I think he was trying to.
And I'm not sure if she was aware of them or not. But like,
in politics, isn't that called like spin doctoring or something like that? After the fact, they try to.
Yeah.
Here's what I would like to see, like, and Mr. Standing, finally, like film a video where he's out in the woods and he just stands up from underneath his bear hide or whatever it is that he's got out there, and he rips his shirt off and just screams and does his best, gladiator impression, and just says, "Are you not entertained?" Because, like, ultimately, like that, I like the guy. I'm sure he's
Really?
interesting. Yeah, that's what I mean about the new me. I'm okay with it because I accept it for what it is. And I think the last time I was on the show, we talked about Thailand and the other hoaxer. I forget his name. Oh God. Oh, he did that whole.
Dyer.
Yeah, Dyer. Yeah.
And he went to Thailand.
Oh my goodness, is that not incredible that over time you can actually forget his name?
Oh yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry, Fred. He'll pop up.
His ears are burning right now. He's like, what?
We're
He's like stitching his next costume together.
We're actually doing a show on him.
I'll show those fuckers.
Still relevant.
Yeah.
We're actually doing a show on him with Steve Culls at the end of the month.
We are.
I think I've heard of that name, and he's got some.
We're gonna go back over the freezer hoax.
Nice. That was pretty good.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. I think it's the 26th of January. Steve's supposed to be sending me his book.
The only thing I'm upset about is like,
wait,
why
you
can't
get a
they
book?
hire? Oh, you get a book.
Yeah, I get a book.
I never got a book.
Listen,
Nice.
you weren't privy to the conversation, so why would you get? I don't think you deserve a book. You weren't around for the conversation I had with Steve. So how am I supposed to?
I wasn't invited to be around the conversation you had with Steve.
That's because it was a private conversation between Steve Culls and I.
Well, then how can you use that against me?
Because it's none of your fucking business.
Just
Dude, you see, here's the thing. When we do the show, you bring a certain thing to the table already about the freezer hoax.
I do.
You know you do, you jackass.
I wasn't around during the freezer hoax.
You paid attention to Rick Dyer for a long time.
I did.
You have insight.
I do.
Yeah. Steve.
Insightful.
Yeah. Go back to fucking sleep. Did you even come back from North Carolina? Jesus Christ.
He's got a green screen there, eh?
I don't even think he's fucking. Well, no, I think he's back home. I just don't. His brain's somewhere else, Fred.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Fucking moron.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah. Take that, Steve. No, he's sending me the book so I can read it so that I can have questions about the material that's in there. He wanted to go over the freezer hoax. I thought it would be a good idea. I thought, Steve, you bring something to the table. Matt brings something to the table.
I bring nothing to the table.
I had no part in it whatsoever. So me reading the book gives me information. Ta-da. Right?
I want a book. That's all I gotta say.
You want me to
Is it gonna
photocopy
be
it?
autographed?
You want me to photocopy it and send it to you digitally?
You want a copy of 50 large?
No, I don't really want a copy.
Like let's assess this, Steve.
I've
You
heard
want
the
a
entire
copy of
story
50
from
large?
the man himself. I don't need the book.
There you go. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna read the book as soon as I get it. He said he was gonna send it out this past week, so hopefully I get it pretty soon, and I'll get started on that, and we'll do the show with him at the end of the month. But I thought that this whole thing with Todd Standing coming out was pretty.
You know what would be funny?
Interesting.
I know, Fred. I know your plate is overflowing. I would never put any ideas in your head or anything, or try to tell you what to draw. However, it would be kind of cool to see Fred Dunn's take on the greatest Bigfoot hoaxes.
It would be. I definitely, I've thought about it, and well, like I was saying before, I just wish some of these gentlemen that want to take us to the next level of experiencing all the ups and downs of the emotional roller coaster of a Bigfoot hoax, at least get an artist that understands, primate and human physiology and how you can actually, realistically combine them and make it almost, I don't know, just love your work. That's all I'm trying to get at. Love your work. And I didn't
Put
feel
some effort into it.
What was his name? Hank? I don't know. The Bigfoot in question. I didn't think.
Gimli?
Yeah, Gimli. Yeah, he did definitely look a little Gimli-ish. Yeah, I didn't feel the love.
He tried to go under the mountain.
Yeah.
Shall not pass.
That's
I
why.
was like, what is this? The last of the Dwarven Kings? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on here?
Jesus Christ. And I don't know what his next thing will be, but I'm sure he's got one in the fucking can.
Oh
Yeah. There's too much money left on the table for there not to be. Every year, there's another wave, like on the beach. It just new wave of people that have not experienced the full effect of. I almost feel like I'm describing the Force. You know what I mean? Like the metaphor, like the Bigfoot community. You can go to the dark route, you can go to the light route, or you can sort of spend your time in the gray middle. But ultimately, you're gonna find all different kinds of levels to this whole thing.
Wrong one. I didn't mean to hit Dean. Fuck Dean Cooper. That was that. I meant to hit Jevin. Yeah, every time I flush the toilet, I alert all the Bigfoots living on the side of my neighbor's roof of my presence. Nice callback to the video, Jevin. Yeah, in the Bigfoot, what's he say? When I open the door to my truck, I alert all the Bigfoot on that ridge of my presence. He's an amazing gentleman. He's amazing. I think we need more shots of him in his ghillie suit, riding four-wheelers and ATVs and side-by-sides and fucking snowmobiles.
I've got lots of friends on Facebook and my other Dred Funn page where I simply they're people that are experiencing their own sort of Bigfoot world or cryptid world, and I don't begrudge them anything, whether or not they're seeing imaginary pareidolias in the woods or whatever it is, but some of it is hard not to chuckle at a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on. There was one Phil did the other day. I was just like,
oh, okay,
what
yeah,
is
pair of
this?
breakdowns.
It looks like a fucking carpet sitting next to a tree.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looked like to me. It just that wasn't that the one that I talked to you about, Matt?
Maybe
the one that he drew the red thing around, put the face on it. Yeah, that one.
I don't believe I've seen carpet with 6-inch shag before, but that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It looks
That would be.
total, I was exaggerating, but it looks fake.
Yeah, the whatever costume or whatever that guy put together, mannequin or whatever, he went a little crazy with the hair.
Yeah.
Went a little overboard. Tied a lot of wigs together.
Yeah. It's a bit much. It looks like a distorted cousin It.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really, that to me,
Well-
it looks like it's all misshapen. In any of the videos I've seen of it, although there's one that Phil showed, if you went back of that guy's videos, where you see a face on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a face on that one, and there's a face on the last one where he used like a chimp mask.
Yeah.
And like I said, he does videos like basically once a year, some a little farther back. I think he's done like 4 or 5 videos. You can tell that the dude's a filmmaker. He puts a lot of work into it for whatever reason. I don't know. I've always kind of had the feeling that like he's like some filmmaker, and this is just a little side thing he does for shits and giggles every now and then under like a fake name and everything. He's probably somebody much better off than what he appears to be. Because like all of his videos are like, there's a lot of post-production. There's like color grading done and filtering and stuff that like most people wouldn't take the time to do in hoaxing a Bigfoot video. And like the fake deer rib cages are all like special effects and stuff, you know, like makeup effects. Like, I don't know. Interesting. I find the videos entertaining.
Yeah.
People buy into them.
Well, yeah, and like for me, it's something sort of related when when you guys were talking about the way the hair, like he's got wigs all slammed together. And recently, I've drawn a series of recreations of primates as Bigfoot, sort of trying to, smash it together, like I said earlier. And it's neat because the one thing that I've learned, and I never noticed this before, probably because I'm a hyper, but the way the hair patterns on primates, all of them, the orangutan, the gibbon, I guess not primate, I mean like the great apes. The way the hair on the legs and the arms and everywhere is pretty much very much similar, if not identical, to the way hair grows on our bodies. Do you get what I'm saying? Like this part of the arm of a chimpanzee, the hair is going to come like this. It's not going to shag down like that. Even an orangutan, you can see when the orangutan has its arm, the hair comes like this and peels down. On the leg, the hair actually, the back of the leg, it juts out. It doesn't sort of flow down the muscle. That being said, I don't want to denigrate the Holy Grail, the Patterson-Gimlin film, but like that one and other ones that I've looked, I'm now looking at the way the hair pattern is, and I don't have any definitive thing, but everything that I've seen so far, it doesn't look like a hair pattern that you would see in a primate or a human. But I'm not an expert. I'm just saying, like, I can't get up there and actually examine the pores and see the way that it's growing. I don't know what it's. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the Patterson-Gimlin footage. I mean, they've done so much to try and restore it so that you can look at it, and even with all of that, there's still stuff that's lost that you can't see. So, I mean, we'll never know. I don't think we'll ever really have a definitive answer on it.
Unless something dramatic happens, unless something dramatic happens with what, like the original film, like, and I doubt
or
that.
Somebody goes back in time with a fucking GoPro and
Ooh, let's do that.
That would be awesome.
Behind Gimlin.
Yeah.
I have a GoPro. We could do it.
Well, I mean,
time machine, you fuck.
I'm just always scared to do something like that, and then like get there and find out Richard Simmons was behind everything or something. Like some just like you just don't expect it.
He
has
been missing.
He has been, and like maybe he sought out Bigfoot and got some insights.
We should do a show on the conspiracy. Where the fuck is Richard Simmons?
It's something that a side thing in my brain that just bothers me a lot, and I don't know why. I'm always thinking,
Are you still sweating to the oldies?
I was going to say, like, are you hearing like 50s and 60s pop tunes playing?
No. But
come on, girls.
The wife does have an old DVD of the Sweating with the Oldies, I think, upstairs. Maybe that's what it is. Every night I go to bed and I see it, and I'm just thinking, come on, girls, and wondering where he's out there with the
Fred's
forest people.
sleepwalking and fucking going into the spare bedroom and putting in sweat into the oldies and his
Yeah, in between my DDP yoga.
Well, you know how like the internet grabs a hold of anything pop culture related and just goes crazy with it. I remember like a year or two ago, like there was a period of time where like Richard Simmons was missing, and
Yeah.
like, people on the internet were like going fucking nuts about it. They're like,
So
"Is he
much
dead?
so-
What happened to him?"
Yeah, so much so that I think like his personal assistant that had like the verification, whatever control of the estate, had to actually make a public statement
Yeah,
from
Yeah.
Richard saying, "Leave me alone. Leave
he's
me alone."
too old to work out, people.
Yeah, he's probably just hanging out. Like a lot of people want to see a darker side, and like that whole when Stan Lee passed, and everyone's talking about how he's being taken advantage of, and yeah, it's all rough. And I always worry because like being a former teacher, it's weird because I've always found that like if little Timmy comes and tells me something about little Scotty, and Scotty comes and tells me something about little Timmy, both aren't really giving me the truth. Somewhere in the middle is where it is. It's always what is it, tainted by your own personal view, your own personal agenda, even if you're not aware of it.
Yeah, it's your own personal bias.
Yeah.
Well, truth is based on perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very subjective sometimes, especially memory too. And that's what another thing I found that's interesting, and I talk to my wife a lot about it, and she just gives me those like long head shakes where she's like, I don't, and how I'm convinced that my eye is trying to trick me when I'm doing certain type of art projects. And it also, I'm looking for that same kind of trickery when I'm watching things in the real world, and where, you know what I mean, where you think you're seeing something, but you're not actually seeing something. And a great example, and I don't have the reference here, but you remember those ruins in Greece? How they have the Parthenon, I think, and it's that big bunch of columns.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look at it, it looks perfect. But when you actually do the measurements, you find that they compensated for the human eye and how we look at things. And the way the pillars are shaped, they're actually smaller in certain areas. So when you're looking at it, it looks perfect, but it's not. So when I'm doing art, like it's weird because I'm almost doing a similar kind of thing where I'm trying to trick you into seeing something that's 2D, well 3D, but doing it in a 2D way.
Oh, yeah. The shit that fascinates me, Fred, is that 3D artwork that people do on like fucking on flat surfaces like roads and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Or on like a wall, and they make it look like you could fucking walk into it.
Yeah, like a lot of
crazy.
that is a lot of people don't want to hear this, and I've learned this over the years, explaining my techniques and stuff. And a lot of it really is base stuff, like getting measurements. Like if I can take an image that's 6 inches by 4 inches, legitimately you can reproduce that any size you want as long as you've got like the measurements. You can grid it. You can find landmarks in the page that you can use to almost like a spider web go out. You could do it like a printer. There's all different kinds of way. But one thing that I do know for a fact is none of them are sexy. None of them are like all mass. Like everyone thinks it's magic. The guy on the beach, he just did whoop, whoop, whoop. Then he grabbed some sand, threw it at the canvas, turned it over. Elvis Presley. And then, they don't want to hear that guy has done that drawing 937 times. And he's practiced it. He's broken those images down to simple geometric shapes that he can reproduce at any time.
Yeah.
And there's no sexy.
Yeah. It becomes unsexy in the process.
Like when magicians tell you, how they did the magic, you're like, well, poop. That wasn't great.
Fred, I don't mean to poo-poo on your expertise or anything, but fuck Dean Cooper says, I think Patty's hair patterns do look about right. Her back hair pattern resembles mine. Well, I'm glad you say that.
No, sorry, Dean. No. Hey, and that's why I said I tried to preface this with, oh my God, just thinking of the back of his back.
Yeah, I don't want any visual verification.
With a nice, wasn't he the one that had the nice tight clingy shirt and didn't like it on his body, the Fortean Slip body? I don't know.
I think he did say something about that. I think you might be right.
I have a weird memory that focuses on like the most obscure things, and like when I see a visual image like his Gandalf face, it triggered that whole and it's in my head again.
Yeah, because that flowing white mane has to be the same on his back.
Well, it's like Richard too. Richard Al, I refuse. Like if he ever loads a picture where I think it might be his face in there, I try not to look. I don't want the illusion blown. Like I have a vision in my head. I should actually draw what I think Richard looks like.
Oh, please do.
And see how close I get.
Oh God! Oh
You'll be way off.
I have a suspicion I am going to be way off. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so good.
See, I love English and Scottish accents and all that stuff. So, and I have to stay away from folks like that because even when I was younger, I have a tendency. It's not mocking. What is that? Mimicking. I don't mean to under my breath when people will start going, in an accent. I start mimicking it under my breath, and that's led to awkward moments on occasion. Are you making fun of me? I'm like, no, I'm not making. But yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah. Oh, and back to Dean's hair pattern. I have nothing definitive yet. Like, I mean, I'm finding what's happening with the Patty stuff is like Chris said. Like, there's not enough for me to tell. For me personally, to go, yeah, no, yeah. Like, I can't say it looks human. I can't say it looks ape. Whether it matters, it doesn't matter. Is Patty half human, half ape? So wouldn't it be the same? Whatever. I don't know. Listen, like if you're shitting out in the woods and you don't have toilet paper, I think that's going to affect that area. So again, I don't know. Like these are all little things that, believe it or not, I take into consideration.
You've been looking at Patty's ass? Is that what you're saying?
So often that like I'm getting disturbed that it might be affecting my tastes. Yeah. That's all right though.
Holy Lord.
Yeah.
Steve, do you want it to look like a fucking chimpanzee ass?
No, I don't look at Patty's ass.
Well,
why not?
Like, I always find myself in these moments where like I've just finished drawing for 30 intense minutes and I'm like, this is incredible. Oh crap, man, I just been drawing some guy's sweaty ball crotch in like a spandex wrestling trunks. And it's like, man, like geez, if you think about what you're actually drawing and it's like, do I really need this level of detail? I guess I do. Yeah. I get right in there.
If you want to keep up that standard, Fred.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do it all.
Yes.
Right down to the creases.
Yeah, the creases. The many creases.
Those creases and folds.
Seems to be something predominant in the Bigfoot community. No, wait, I said that the wrong way. I mean, like with Bigfoot creatures, the community isn't creasy at all. No.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think there might be a little bit of a problem there, Fred.
Yeah, and the thing is, the people that I find that can laugh along with us and not get pissed off are the people that I like talking to and hanging out with. Because, like, I mean, if you're gonna, roast our balls right now, have at it. It's fun. Are you entertained?
Yeah. Are you entertained?
Yep.
I am.
I have recently been reinvigorated with the community again. Like I said, for a while there, I just was hard. You get a lot.
I'm entertained right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a hyper.
Next Sunday,
maybe not. Yeah,
Matt, he might not be at all.
Yeah, somewhere there's a Rick Dyer saying, "Hold my beer." He's like, "I will get these guys crushing again."
The future.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I hope so. Like I said, my friends will always send me images and stuff that have anything to do with Bigfoot, and quite often I've already seen it myself because I spent a lot of time, but. Like do you believe this guy? Like who he was some actor with a Fu Manchu in the woods. He had Bigfoot's head and he was going to eat it. He's a dog trainer or something.
Oh, Peter Kane.
That's him. My daughter like sent me a link and she's like, "Is this guy for real?" I'm like, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this fella's an actor or he's playing a part and this is all. Yeah, and she's like, but he has Bigfoot's head. I don't think he has Bigfoot's head. Let me. I'll look at the video. Yeah, that's not Bigfoot's
He
head.
also has Bigfoot's dick.
I did not see that. Oh, I might have to check.
Just for the record.
Well, yeah, just since like I've had some experience in that area myself, just professional,
Bigfoot
interest.
sticks, you've got to-
Well, no, drawing it, illustrating it. No, I hope I don't have experience with Bigfoot's dick.
Oh,
Words to
Although
live
because I care about details when Bigfoot and if Bigfoot is found, I would like to know about his dick. Unfortunately.
by. Well, if we go
Well, cut that
with
part
other
out.
primates,
Just- Get
Yeah. I wonder how Bigfoot would feel about that, knowing like there's a bunch of like bald, pale people thinking, about finding him in the woods and checking out his pecker. Maybe that's why he really doesn't want to be found. He's like,
Hey, stop looking at my dick.
Yeah. He
eyes up
met
here.
he met a couple humans a few years ago in the 50s and 60s and was like, no, I've had enough. I'm good.
like, hey, it does the job.
Yeah.
She's not complaining.
Nope. Yeah.
But anyway, to get into going back over the year that we after talking about Bigfoot dick, we started off 2019. I have to go back. Going back right now through all this stuff. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I went too far. I went too fucking far in the list. Why'd you let me do that?
There's a list.
Of shows, yeah.
Oh, of shows, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't you know? All right. So we started out. Oh, shit. I did it again. God damn it. This is what happens when you put a fucking mouse in my hand.
All right, while we're waiting, I just opened my phone. Here's the title. Guess what state it might be. Let's see. People fight over crab legs at local buffet using tongs like swords. Let's see if that's Florida. Let's see. Where
Maine.
is it? Where is it?
I'm almost certain it's going to be Maine.
Huntsville, Alabama. Oh, I
What?
wasn't seeing that
There
coming.
you go. There
That
you
was
go.
awesome.
Hey, that you know who's from Huntsville, Alabama, don't you?
No.
The bearded picker is from Huntsville, Alabama.
The bearded picker. Well, no. So I have found it. We did start out the new year with the Brent Dill busting of the Lori Simmons Bigfoot under the tree episode, which we then went into the Bigfoot after school special after that. But I remember that distinctly, in which we were pretty sure that Mr. Dill had an issue of sexual nature with one Miss Simmons. And lo and behold, I was correct.
That was a very good guess.
That was
Well, you don't do something like that unless there's something more to the story.
well, and we thought that there was something, and it was like, like I had talked to Matt about it, the whole thing. Did it really need to be busted?
No.
Okay. Like that's the thing. Like it didn't really it wasn't necessary. What happened wasn't necessary. It was definitely a retaliation type thing. And I don't think that's the type of research that we want. Retaliatory research.
It was a crime of passion.
A research of passion. Join us next week on Research of Passion.
Yeah, it was.
Well, they're like, was there people flocking to the tree to hear the Bigfoot underneath it?
I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. Then we interviewed the guy with Harold the Haunted Doll. Probably one of the worst interviews we've ever had. That guy. Oh.
Yeah, he's an entertainer, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, you bought a haunted doll on eBay, Matt. What do those usually wind up being? From
You have
listen,
to-
Matt.
Let's put it this way.
From
On
dolls with a
eBay,
lot of semen in them.
No, wait. Let me set this up, Matt. From your hypothetical past experience, Matt.
from pure speculation, eBay requires you to put on there a disclaimer that it's for entertainment purposes only.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, I don't think the guy bought a haunted doll.
No shit.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to break down the fourth
Really?
wall for everybody, but yeah, I don't think Harold is haunted. But yeah, we went from that to dun, dun, dun. So I gotta pop these up individually to be able to see what the topics were. I believe we were joined by Matt the next episode again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to say no, it doesn't say because it just says they were joined by a special guest, and usually that's you.
Usually, yes.
Yeah,
I know
usually,
I
yeah.
missed the haunted doll episode.
But that was the one where we talked about the missing boy from North Carolina that claimed he hung out with a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an interesting story.
Whatever
Yeah, I
happened?
remember that one. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
It was
Yeah,
swept under the rug.
Yeah, nobody's talking about it anymore. This little boy comes back from being how many days was he out in the woods? Like 2?
Yeah, yeah, it was more than a day. Yeah, enough that makes you go,
Yeah. And then he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, no, I hung out with a bear." What?
Huh? The bear took care of me.
Excuse me? Yeah, no, a bear took care. What? Hey, get that.
I know. What is that? Oh, that's my phone. Hello,
Martha.
now another phone's going off.
Must be important.
Lovely. Yeah. No, we'll just shut that down. There we go. No, I think the wife got the line hooked up through the house or something. I don't know. I don't think I have. What do they call it? A landline anymore, or whatever that is?
Yeah. It's just hooked up through you get it through the cell phone.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. The next one we did after that was the that fucking book that was written about Trump or supposedly Trump, the time travel. The little time traveler. Yeah, that fucking bag of dog shit. That I mean,
that held traction for a week.
Yeah, like I mean, if you looked into the story at all, it wasn't. You know, he wasn't even called Trump. That was like it was the way they translated it or changed it. And then we talked about the return of Rick Dyer.
Wasn't I on that one? Maybe.
Isn't that the one where he went to Thailand? And
Yeah.
Yes, that
it
must
was
have been
in
the one that you
around
were
then.
on.
Yeah.
I think you might be right, Fred. That could be the one.
Because it's ringing a bell. And that previous story, because I remember I went and did a bunch of research on that story, and I found a few things a little fugazi. I can't recall, but it's like one of those where it's after the fact. It seemed a lot of this information with the little boy and the bear and all that, and I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't hang out with bears, so
yeah, me neither.
No.
Then we did a show on modern horror. I don't remember much about that show. I'd have to probably go back.
I recently did a couple horror cons, and I had a great time. It was a lot different than doing an actual comic book con. A horror con, it's the same thing. You got people dressed up. You got booths. You got artists. Also, people selling merchandise and stuff. But everybody seems to have a lot more money, and they all seem to be a little more attractive, and except for the guests.
What are you trying to say, Fred?
I was just saying that I was not expecting that kind of
the caliber.
Yeah, I was a little overwhelmed with people stop. Like even like one of the celebrities stopped by and talked to me at my booth, and like he didn't have to do that. I mean, it was really nice of him, and I just very rarely do I come away from any of these experiences with like 100% positive, but that one was across the board. It was a good show, which is weird because they're all dressed like dead people and blood's everywhere, and they're all looking like they're the type of people you would not ask for directions or help. But then you find out, you know, the guy with the neck tattoo that reaches up to his eyebrow is probably the nicest person in the whole place. So it was just, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you meet the guy from the original Hills Have Eyes?
Yes, that's the man. Michael. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name right now. Jeez. But yeah, no. He was doing his rounds because a lot of times the celebrities will sort of, you know what I mean. They get stuck in behind there, and they have to, go, check things out. And it was really weird when he came walking down. I saw him because I was trying to get out of the booth because it's like being in a cage for me. And he saw me, our eyes locked, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to back up. And then he literally stopped right at my booth in a creepy way, turned and looked at me, and then just started talking. And the whole time his aide is trying to, come on, let's go. And he's, I don't care. I'm talking to this weird fella.
Yeah. Michael Berryman.
That's it, Berryman, yes.
Yeah.
And then there was another like 7-footer that was there. He played a couple monsters and other horror movies, and I'm pretty sure he was hitting on my wife. And whenever she went into the back hallway because it was like the first time like I got treated like I wasn't, just some person there trying to sell their wares. Like they made everybody from the smallest person involved to the biggest person all feel like they belonged. Mm-hmm. It was just a very inclusive feeling. Mind you, I think in defense of Comic-Cons, the difference is the volume wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think a lot of those things can exist when you have that many people literally crammed together.
Yeah, it makes it hard. After that, we talked about Atlantis. Whether or not it was a real place or not. And then Steve...
It was a real place.
Doggerland.
Steve.
Yeah.
Then was the first mention of the Legend of Sweetwater.
God.
The Sweetwater legend.
And you know what's happened since then, right?
Oh, well, it has
merch and everything else.
Yeah, he's got merch. He's a legend now, Fred.
I've always been a legend.
Yes.
Yeah. And after that, we did St. Patrick's Day and the Legend of the Leprechaun, and pretty much broke down St. Patrick. I think that was a strange one.
We knocked him down a fucking notch.
Yeah. And at that point, the T-shirts were for sale.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite things to wear. I love it. I should have wore it tonight. Damn it.
Some great art on that T-shirt.
Yeah, that happens. After that, we did that thing. Remember that thing you brought to my attention, Matt, about the belief that stargates were used to transport military units?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did that whole episode.
Are we doing that right now?
Did I miss that?
I don't know. Are we?
Maybe.
Is that what's happening?
They say drone. It was just Trump with a pistol.
Yeah. We look at after that. We did the Mandela effect again.
One of my favorite subjects.
You love the
or
Mandela
did we?
effect. Well, yeah. I don't remember doing that show.
I've been caught up in one with the professional wrestler Kurt Hennig. I swear his name was Hennig, but apparently his name is Hennig. I swear I remember.
And it's thrown you for a loop, hasn't it?
I don't have the drawing, but I knew I drew him a couple times because he was Mr. Perfect. and I remember drawing his last name and using a PWI reference, and it was Henning, but that's not how it's spelled.
I
Apparently.
always remember
You've
his
been
name being
Mandela.
Henning.
What's that, Matt?
I remember it the same way. I always
Yeah,
remember his name being
Henning. And his dad, Larry the Axe Henning, and you know, and now it's Hennig.
Oh.
They're saying it's always been Hennig. You know, so now I'm like worried that, you know, this is some sort of glitched matrix, and you know,
It's a strange world.
I'm like in the throes of my last death breath on some beach somewhere, and you know, hallucinating.
It's an episode of Black Mirror, Fred. Just fucking take a deep breath and relax.
Yeah, the wife watched that, and she says I have to watch it with her for some supervision.
It's a great show. After the Mandela Effect, we did, and I don't remember what this one was. Cryptozoology Follies. I don't remember what we covered in that one. That one I can't.
I remember the episode, but I don't.
Yeah, I remember talking to like the inception.
Isn't that the one where we were talking about all the crazy cryptids that are stupid?
Yeah, but I can't remember which ones they were, or which ones we
like
chose.
the lumberjack ones.
Yeah, something like that. Then we did what you missed while watching Game of Thrones.
I think I missed that.
That was a failed experiment. I remember that one.
Let's go back and talk about this one for a second. Matt,
everybody that complains about bait clicking and all that bullshit, fuck off. It doesn't work. Not even real.
Matt's like, we should get on this bait clicking idea. Like, he's like, let's try this experiment.
Let's just try this.
Let's try this. He's like, hear me out. Everybody's talking about Game of Thrones. Let's do this. You know. And I'm like, all right, I'm fucking down. He's like, I even did I even did the picture that you put up for the show for it. Fucking down. I'm like, yep, we're down. Fucking let's do it. Boom, put it up.
Yeah, it's weird because I did a bunch of Game of Thrones drawings during the last week of the series and released them on Instagram, and they were some of my least popular posts. Yeah.
It's so weird how some of that stuff happens.
Well, everyone's saying you got to hashtag this, you gotta at that, and okay, sure. And,
there's no set recipe; it doesn't work.
Yeah, you never fucking know. After that, we did the Easter and Bunny Man special, which was fun. I do remember that. And then Matt, we did the Great Bigfoot debate between you and Richard Allen.
That I won.
Yeah.
he probably feels differently.
No, I recall Richard agreeing with most of the things you were saying. Am I right, or am I just missing?
Yeah, there wasn't really that much debate. You know?
Yeah, there was.
It was just me correcting Richard.
Then we went into alien abductions and strange disappearances. The Bermuda Triangle was after that. And then Mokele Mbembe.
Mbembe.
Mokele Mbembe. That's
drafted by the Houston Rockets.
That's right. That's the that's the Loch Ness monster of Africa.
Yes.
Mokele Mbembe.
Don't they think it's a big sauropod or something like that?
Yeah, that roams the jungle.
Yeah.
After that, we did Real Life Zombies, which was a bunch of things about parasites that turn like ants and other insects and shit into zombies and take them over.
Mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah,
I might have listened to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the cordyceps fungus is a fucked up fucking fungus, dude. Then we went on a thing about Satanism in America.
Ooh.
That whole fun thing, which turns out to be just, bullshit.
Girls just want to have fun.
Pretty much.
I don't know.
The Barney and Betty Hill abduction. one of Steve's favorites.
One of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite shows that we've done.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I'd gone back and actually watched. I went back and watched a the movie with James Earl Jones in it.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah, I like the Barney Hill one, and I keep it up there with the Travis Walton. Those are two of my favorite all time. Like,
Oh, don't say that to fucking Phil Poling. He'll shoot
yeah,
you
yeah,
right
I
now.
know. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard how much
fucking,
he
yeah.
likes.
There's a story about this guy that went out in the woods with some of his
What
friends.
story about this guy?
Yeah, fuck you. God damn fucking Poling. Damn fucking tiki man. I tell you. But yeah, don't say that about Travis Walton. He's a firm non-believer.
Yep, yep.
Then we did.
I'm not a believer of anything, really. So
Yeah.
I like his story.
What is a believer? You know. Then we
Is
did
that the same as a believer?
for you. Yes.
Baby, baby.
Then we did the Amityville horror. I can't remember exactly what we went over on that one.
I remember
Amityville Horror.
Probably,
Yeah.
I don't know but we might have gone over like Ed and Lorraine Warren and all that bullshit.
What that was.
Yeah. Then we went over the decoding of the Voynich manuscript. I can't remember what was it that it wound up being. That they wound up saying that it was. It was
secret recipe.
yeah, it's just fucking KFC. That's what the Voynich manuscript is, a secret recipe for KFC.
I guess.
Yeah, Steve, I think that's what we found out. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I think it's something along those lines. Yeah.
Then we did the Crypto Spectacular. I want to say that's the one where we just went through different cryptids.
Maybe so.
The Crypto Spectacular. No, we just
Not
went.
event
It just says we went freeform under the description, so I couldn't fucking tell you.
You put descriptions in these things?
Interpretive dance.
Then we did our most popular episode of the year, by the way. We did the disappearance of Malaysian flight MH370.
Yeah.
That is the most popular episode of the year.
Really?
Most downloads, most views.
Wow.
Of everything. Then I started doing the secret shows, which have been fun. They still continue. And then we had on the Squatch Detective, Steve Culls, for episode 87. I don't remember. What did we talk with Steve about that time? Anything in particular? Or just fucking had him on?
Had some fun.
Yeah. Then we had the Serpent Mound episode.
I remember that one.
Yes, which was a debacle from like the fucking get-go. Like I show up at Steve's and we try to fucking get the show going and it just kept
That was
falling
the
on its
only
face.
time- the only time my internet shit the bed or did whatever happened that night.
It was your
Fucking
computer.
shut off or some shit. I can't remember. It just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Fucking bad luck is what you are.
And I had gone to the Serpent Mound, which was cool. I'd never been there before. Very, very cool to get to see
I
that.
still haven't been there.
You should go down and check it out. It's a neat place.
Not that far.
Don't go when it's hot as fuck. Then we did the Stainer Brothers episode where we talked about the guy who was kidnapped and then rescued because he tried to save the other kid that the guy kidnapped after him. And then he dies, and then later on his brother winds up becoming a serial killer.
Was I on that one?
Yes, you were.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, in the national park. He was like living in Yosemite or something.
Yeah.
Yellowstone.
And the only reason that he was
read you
considered a serial killer was because of the number and the way in which they were killed, because he did it over a period of time, but he took them all at the same time. But they think he would have kept doing it, which I'm pretty sure he would have too. After that, we looked at the Min Min lights.
Min
The Min Min lights.
Min.
Remember that one, Steve?
I remember Min Min.
Yeah. Do you remember the next one after that, the Atlantis of the Desert? No.
I do.
I don't remember what I ate for breakfast.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
that was the one you found.
Yeah, but for some reason, I found the one that I found, we couldn't find any information about, and then we wound up doing it on a different type of. It was all fucked up. That
I
whole
remember now. Yeah.
yeah, that episode got kind of screwed up because I found when I was on vacation down in Ohio, and I very rarely watch broadcast TV, and I just was flipping channels. I found this thing on, I think it was the History Channel. On the Atlantis of the Desert. And then when I got home, I tried to look it up on YouTube. Couldn't find a fucking thing about it. But we tried to do a show anyway.
Welcome.
Yeah, exactly. The Loveland Frogman was episode 94, Steve.
Where
You were
accused of
supposed to
not
go.
even trying to go to Loveland.
You didn't go. You didn't even try.
I drove near there.
Yeah, you didn't.
Guess where I was last weekend?
Don't know.
In Flatwoods, New Jersey.
Look at you go.
Yeah. I ate at the Shoney's in Flatwood, New Jersey.
You're amazing.
You know, the Flatwood Monster.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm aware of the Flatwoods Monster.
Isn't that big vacuum cleaner thing?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the big vacuum cleaner thing. That's right, Fred.
Mm.
Can you draw it as a big vacuum cleaner
I
thing?
should, yeah,
I
like
did not see the
Dyson.
vacuum cleaner. But
Then after that, I had watched the Beast of Bray Road documentary that Small Town Monsters did, and we did a show on that, on the Bray Road Beast. And after that, we did. Oh, my cousin came on the show for the wild dog encounters.
Talked about dags.
Dogs.
Dags.
Talked about that encounter I had in the woods with some dogs.
That was actually one of my favorite episodes, and I wish he'd come on again. He was really good.
Yeah, Greg's a good person. He's a good guy.
Flowed really well in the show.
Yeah, Greg's a good guy.
Katie also told a riveting dog story that episode. There was a dog.
Poor Katie.
She was in a car.
Thanks,
You
Matt.
want to try that one again, Katie?
Yeah, I should redeem myself someday, huh?
Retell that dog story. Yeah. So then we did Fearsome Creatures.
That was the lumberjack one.
That was the lumberjack one.
Yeah.
I'm popping it up right now. Chris, Stephen, Matt are joined by Chubbs to talk Fearsome Creatures.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the yeah. Yeah, because that's what you sent me was Fearsome Creatures, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, then that's what that one was. Then we did Telepathy and the Neuralink. Good old Elon Musk.
Yep.
Need to get a flamethrower from him. That's what I need.
Oh, man.
That's what I need.
I regret not buying one of those things all the time.
No shit, right? Then we did the Storm in Area 51 show.
I still wish people would have really done it.
That fucking bag of
I
shit.
know.
Okay, the next
could've-
episode we did was actually a fail. It was a failed title because the title was supposed to be what we were going to be doing. And we still haven't done it, by the way. So it was called A Florida Man ...
Another excellent idea.
that we just
amounted to
completely
nothing.
forgot about.
See,
So-
and then like Fred even is in on it and doesn't
Yeah.
even know it.
I know. I already had one set up, trying to find it out.
Right. So we were going to do that with our birthdays. And it was the 6-year celebratory show. So I think we had Steve Culls on that show, Richard. I don't remember if we had anybody else. But yeah, that was the 6-year celebration. Then we did the 1994 Zimbabwe UFO sighting. The kids there
Yes, that was a good one.
that saw that UFO. That is a weird one. Then the Copley Woods incident. Which one was that one?
It was about the Copley Woods incident.
Yeah? Can you delve any deeper on that one?
Well, this is woods in Copley,
Yeah?
and there was an incident there.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dave. Thanks.
It was
We
the
did-
farmhouse with the alien lights and
Yeah, where they shot at him and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
happened
that
all
one.
night long.
Yep. And we talked about In the Tall Grass that
Yes.
episode too. To Bigfoot or Not to Bigfoot, that was the Ryan Redding episode. Let me state for the record, I unfriended Ryan Redding the other day. He tagged me in a Melba Ketchum post, and when I asked him, why have I been tagged in this crap, he said, because you could learn something from this woman. She's very intelligent.
Did you read the post? I mean, oh my God.
I read some of the post, and I was like, listen, stop tagging me in posts. And his response was, you're being childish. So my response after that was
Goodbye,
to
Ryan.
unfriend him, and I'm not even going to deal with it anymore.
It was just funny because from a, I don't know, a person with an investigative mind, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Steve will also agree on this. That post should not be the post that anybody promotes Melba Ketchum with. Because that post was basically crawdadding on everything she said and done this entire time.
Yeah. I and if you're still believing in Melba Ketchum's bullshit, I'm sorry, but don't talk to me. You know, it's a bag of shit.
Who filed a copyright on a book and movie deal about the results of the test, outlining in the copyright exactly what the results of the test were going to be before they happened, and then went back and changed that detailed description in a second copyright filing, and then several months later said, we have finally completed the test. Come on. Not that hard, people.
No. After that, we did mistaken Halloween decorations. People who committed suicide or whatnot. And
I take it back. That was my favorite.
And then we did the Halloween special. Rise of the Skinwalker. Which one? What did we do on that one, Katie? Do you remember the Skinwalker one?
We had Wendigo in there too. I think that was like the Native American stuff.
Yes. And then after that, we did the Kecksburg UFO incident. Kecksburg.
I gotta get to Kecksburg. It's not that far from
Yeah. That's the Acorn one.
me. Yes.
Yes, the one that everybody thinks was the Nazi fucking bell.
Big Laka.
After that, we did Remembering Tim Fasano. We had the
man.
passing of Tim Fasano this year. Tim was on our show twice.
Should've been on the show every week.
Yeah, I so wish we could have had him on more. He was supposed to be on the 6-year celebratory show, and he missed it. And I still to this day wish when he'd messaged me afterwards, I had just sent him a link and started a new live show. Then the next show we did after that was Legends of the Inuit. That one was cut short. Something happened that night. I think I had something going on that fucking fucked up the show. And then we had on for the very first time Bronx Johnny versus the Megalodon, where we talked about the Megalodon.
Show I did miss.
You weren't on the Bronx Johnny show?
No.
Oh yeah, that's right too. It's just me and Matt.
Could have been
And he is going to come back on. I believe he's still in Ecuador. He's just on his way back now, but he did say he'd come back on this year. So
I did watch that show. That was a good show.
Yeah, he was a great guest. Then we did Vanished Without a Trace. That was about people who just disappeared. Was that the one where we did the dude that walked out onto the lake? And it just his footprints were there. I can't remember that one.
We did that one a lot earlier than that.
It might have been. I know we've done a bunch of those.
Sounds like a Lifetime movie title.
Then we did the Star Wars murders, also known as the Marconi murders.
Did that clickbait title help you out any?
Not really.
Yeah.
No. Christmas Mysteries, which everybody missed except for Richard. Richard actually stood in for everybody else on the bench.
Don't name me.
Yeah, that was the night you were sick as shit, right?
Probably
Yeah,
Where
I think
was I?
during
think it was.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was Christmas. Okay, I was out of town.
But the Christmas mysteries were just strange disappearances or strange mysteries that happened on Christmas.
Because I had one for that episode.
Oh fuck!
Yeah. It's not important.
Is it the Phoebe Cates story from fucking Gremlins?
No.
And then we did last week. We did the missing 411.
I'm sad that I missed that show.
You're sad that you missed it?
Yeah, because I heard it was really good. I haven't listened to it yet, but
I went back and listened to it while I was shoveling the last snowstorm, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it seems in some parts that we have such differing opinions, but we really don't. Like when you get down to it, it's like what we were talking about with Richard and Matt debating. It seems like there's a lot of differences of opinion, but in a lot of the cases, there's just really not.
There's more common ground than anything.
Right, exactly. There's more common ground than there is like when it comes to the missing 411 in the whole discussion that we had, that we all agree on rather than we all disagree on. You know, Phil's got this thing against David Paulides, and I get it.
Yes,
You know,
I know about that. Yeah,
but like the show was
maybe
not
rightfully
about
so.
Paulides. Like I wasn't trying to make the show about David Paulides. It was about the cases, the missing.
Yeah, even if you don't take him into account, like each one, like he compiled it and he did that, but you know what I mean? It's still hugely interesting, even if you
Right.
don't. That's why like there's so many videos online that are clearly about missing 411, but like I mean, they don't clickbait. They don't have the missing 411 in the title, but you watch the video, it's got a lot of views, and you're like, oh, that's part of the, you know, it's in that book, and yeah.
Right.
I don't
Like
know.
I was telling Chris, like, I mean, we were all around whenever Paulides, you know, started writing those books and
I'll be
everything.
right back, everybody.
But
Yep.
the actual term missing 411 stands on its own now. It's
Yeah.
become an actual term that other people use besides him, and it's not necessarily a reference to his works. Right?
No,
I'm going to guess much to his dismay that
Yes, I was
Probably
going to
so.
add that. Yeah, that's from what I know. I've never met him. I did a bit of research for a video, but like I mean, from what other people say, he's very possessive of the.
Yes.
You
very
know,
much
it's
so.
like, and that goes back to what I was saying. Like, you know, I'm right, therefore I, you know, like, you know, it's me. Blah 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 blah. You know, okay, none of those things happen to you. Okay, all of them happen to individuals and their families. You just, I mean, you've done what I mean. I don't want to belittle him in any way because nobody else did it the way he did it. But I mean, others could do and have done similar and will do similar things in the future. It's
Right.
I'm just not a fan of the way he presents it.
yeah. Again, yeah. But man, like he definitely knows what he's doing and he knows how to play. I don't want to say play because that means negative, but he definitely knows. Fuck it. He knows how to play the community.
There you go.
Yeah. No, he definitely
knows how
does.
to play
We just
to the community.
de-Canadianized Fred Dunn.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
play to the
the thing with Paulides is he knows how to leave enough out.
Yeah.
Yep.
He knows
I think-
enough not to interact with every individual and not where it's not about a sales pitch. It's like you know, he's just, I'm out there. I want you to buy my books. Don't buy them from Amazon because they'll overcharge you. Okay, we get it. You say it in every video. It's nice.
So why are they on Amazon if he?
I
doesn't
know.
get the-
Again, and then you find out that, you know, while he's representing one part of the truth, it's again not entirely true.
Whoa. I
Yeah.
just got bigger.
Yeah, me too. Something happened.
What? Oh,
I think we
Matt,
lost
come
Matt.
on.
Yeah.
we lost Matt.
Well, you talked too much about David Paulides. And Matt.
I figured that would.
Yeah, it happens with Steve. I mean, with Phil, and it happens with Matt.
Well, I just don't want to lose out on potential, you know, work. If he ever called me and said, "Hey, you want to draw some pictures for me?" I'd be like, "Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, sir.
Of course I do. You
Can I
want me?
whack-
You want
can
me
I
to draw?
whack-
You want me to draw what on the cover of a missing 411 book?
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, you want me to wax your mustache too? I will do it all. Yeah, yeah. No, we're good. Yeah, but
You
again,
would look really cool with him.
yeah.
Really.
Well, that I had to do an actual drawing of Mr. David, but the person wanted it to not exactly look exactly like him, and I'm like, okay, so people are going to think it's Magnum PI. What? I mean, I got to make it look somewhat like him, so they know
He does have that Magnum PI.
he does. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he does like have a little bit of that going on.
I
But
prefer the menacing goatee version of him when he's got the big goatee and like
he's too polished for Magnum PI though.
Yes, yeah.
He's too polished to look like friggin' the Tom Selleck Magnum look, in my opinion.
Fred, next time you draw me, make me Magnum.
That's right. Yeah. Get
I'll be
that
Magnum.
shirt. Yeah, and we'll do Chris as his butler, your manservant.
No. No.
What is it, Higgins? Yeah.
Fuck
Again,
you.
useless information. It just pours out.
I've actually been rewatching Magnum on Amazon Prime, the old Magnum, like from the beginning, and
Oh, you got to start there.
and it's one of those shows. I won't say that it holds up, like it's still cheesy shit, but you can watch it.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, I think patchouli oil and body hair. It's just like I have a hard time. Yeah, it's like it's scent oriented. All those old videos in 80. Well, no, I guess it's early 80s. Yeah, I suppose mid 80s.
Yeah, Magnum was all throughout the 80s.
Yes, you
had
classic.
TV. They had TV movies. They had friggin', the series itself. I mean, that thing went on forever, and everybody was like, "Is fucking Higgins Robin Masters? What the fuck?" Like
who did
that
Robin
show.
Masters turn out to be? Did they ever reveal that?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Let us
what
know in
the
a few
fuck.
weeks when you get done with the series.
No, I won't finish it in a few weeks. You kidding me? It takes me
Shit,
forever
I
to
binge
finish
watch shit as
one
soon as I start
season.
watching.
For fuck's sake. I mean, I started reading again, which I'm really happy with. Like I was pissed off at myself because I really enjoy reading, and it's harder now that I'm older with my eyes. And I'm fucking resigned to it. I had a talk with Richard. I think it was yesterday. I missed his show last night because of fuck up. I have a friend who lost her house, and she had a deadline this weekend to get out of the house and needed boxes. So I had to take boxes over to her. And I missed his show, but I was talking to him about his fucking e-reader because he has an e-reader, but he doesn't have a Kindle, and he says that he really likes it. And I've always said, I love books because I love the way they feel in my hands. I like the way, I like the smell of an old book. But I've gotten to a point because I'm older, I can't get into a comfortable position to read anymore with a book because of light. And you can't fucking see. And I've said, fuck it, I'm ordering a fucking Kindle.
Yeah, I went to Kindle, an e-reader about 4 years ago, I think. And while I do miss everything you said about the books, I find that just having the access and being able to, if I'm not feeling it, I can just dump this whole series and go do something else. And
Yep.
I don't really have to, wait. The wife can download it. It all works out. But again, I find that sometimes I have to struggle. Like the current series I'm reading, I'm definitely into. Whereas a couple of the ones I recently read, I kind of just got into the habit of reading them. Didn't enjoy the work. Didn't feel that it was as good as maybe, an actual book would be. But I don't know. I think it was just the subject matter. And I like that with e-readers. You could just hop around.
I just finished Lord Fowl's Bane by Stephen R. Donaldson, and it's the third time I've read the book. And I just started the second book in that series, The Ill Earth War. I love that series. It's about a guy who's a leper, and he gets transported from this world that we live in into this fantasy world where all of a sudden his body starts healing. and he starts feeling in all of these dead nerves, and he like starts going crazy in his own head, like because he's just thinks that this world that he's in it's a fantasy, it's a dream, but he just keeps getting brought back there. And it's just such a great series. I really enjoy it, but I'm just happy to be fucking reading again. And last night I was looking through Kindles, and I'm definitely going to buy one. I just haven't decided if I'm going to get the regular Kindle or get the Paperwhite. That's the only thing I have not decided yet. Steve, any input? No? You got a Paperwhite lying around you can send me?
I don't read.
Yeah. Well,
I like the one I have has an illuminated screen. I don't know. I usually try to read in the dark.
I actually do have an old Paperwhite if you want it, if I can find it.
Yeah. Which generation?
I don't know. It's got the keyboard on it.
Keyboard?
Yeah.
I know one came with a keyboard.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. I was looking at the new one. It's got the completely flat screen. But the Kindle itself, the newer Kindle has the screen is set in instead of having the completely flat flush screen like the Paperwhite does. So it's a decision that I got to make.
It was a Kindle that I had. It was a Kindle with a keyboard. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have it somewhere around here.
Yeah. Sure. But I it's a decision I got to make because I have really enjoy reading and I want to continue it. And if I keep reading books, my eyes are going to be like, fuck you, dude.
Well, and that's the good thing about the e-readers and stuff. You can make the font bigger, and for me it took a little bit, like, because I'm always about symmetry and how things. So the fact that my page no longer is full of the same amount of words kind of bugged me, but I got used to. Okay, well, this is how many words are on my page now. Right. So it's not like it just cuts it out. It sort of just makes that area bigger. So, you don't have to flop over to the side. And, sometimes you get an online joke and you read the first two panels and you got to slide over to get the next couple. Like if you're on a certain reader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely ordering one. I just haven't. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. I wanted to get the right one for me, and I should have pulled the trigger a while ago. But I just
do you have an iPad?
Do I? No.
I was going to say because you can get the Kindle app on your iPad to see how you.
Just read. I think that's what my wife does or has done in the past.
Or an Android tablet.
I mean, I could do it. I could do it on my phone. I have a pretty big screen on my phone. It's still small. And I'd rather have the Kindle itself,
That's how I read Ryan Redding's book was for reading. Ryan
was on your phone?
Was on my Kindle app on my iPad.
Did you read the whole thing?
No.
No? It wasn't that riveting?
No.
Oh. Okay.
That's the only thing I've read book-wise in a long, long time. And it's the same reason you kind of quit reading it because I can't see the pages. Yeah, and I don't like reading on a Kindle or anything like that. So.
Yeah, I just need to have something that will work, and I'm not. I want to continue doing it because I really, really enjoy it. So.
What about glasses?
I
know Steve has some, but like
as far as like reading glasses,
that's all I have because like a few years ago I was noticing in order to draw. I was having to see. I'd have to push it back, and I couldn't actually get in close. And that's when I started. But since then, my vision is shot. Like if I don't have my glasses on, I can't read my cell phone. I can't read a book. I can't.
Yeah, I picked up a pair, but I don't know if I just need to find the right pair if it comes to that. But my problem is lighting. It's not being able to see like the words, it's the lighting in the room which then causes the strain on my eyes.
Actually I know what you're talking about. Like drawing at Comic-Cons it's hell. Like the lighting that I think it's called like a diffused lighting where you're getting multiple sources. Yeah. And
it's and even like to get into, like I said, a comfortable position and a sitting position, you usually don't have a light right behind you shining this way. You know, I mean, the lights I have are above me. So, I mean, just having a Kindle, I think, would help a lot. You know, so that I can continue reading, because I have so much I want to read. And
with mine, I don't worry about any lighting because I have the screen.
Yeah, that's what
Richard.
That's what Richard was saying to me. He's like, I read in the fucking dark, dude. And I'm like, oh,
yep.
So I'm really kind of excited to get one. The only thing that I concerns me is the price of the digital books for them. I look at it and I'm like, that is a bit.
So go to your
local
library.
Right, that's what somebody else was saying, was that you can go to the library and they have the thing where you can like take out books digitally. And that, I think that's probably what I'll also wind up doing on top of getting things. But yeah, I think that's the way to go. But I'm like I said, I'm just I can't do it anymore. I need to. I'm becoming an old man. I mean, look at this fucking beard. It's fucking so goddamn gray.
Everybody's getting white.
I mean, and I've made a firm decision. A firm decision for 2020. If the downloads on Anchor reach for just one fucking week, I don't give a fuck if it's just for 1 week. If they reach 1,000 downloads in 1 week, I will dye everything blue. My beard, my hair, and I'm talking
first.
Yep. I'm doing it the right way. I will do it the fucking right way. I will go
blue?
I will go complete fucking anime blue.
Why blue?
Because blue is my
favorite color.
You fuck.
So,
what color would you dye your hair, Steve?
Fucking green.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be green. My favorite color is not green. It's my second favorite color.
No, it's your favorite now.
Yeah, it's your favorite now. It used to be your second favorite there, Steve. It's now your fucking full-time favorite.
Purple is my favorite.
Yeah. No, I'll go blue. If I can get if just 1 week on Anchor, if the downloads hit 1,000, I mean, a bunch of you fucking obsessive motherfuckers, if you just went there and listened to I don't know how many different episodes. Could hit it in 1 fucking week, no problem. I'll dye it all blue, and I'll leave it there so you all can see it.
Will you drink a bunch of colloidal silver?
What's that, man?
Will you drink a bunch of colloidal silver to see if you can turn your skin blue?
No, I'm not fucking stupid.
Damn it.
Nope, I'm not drinking colloidal silver. Jesus Christ, no. I'm not gonna turn into a Smurf.
Yeah,
I'm gonna reverse Smurf. Like reverse Papa Smurf.
Cancel out your copper bracelet.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Magnets.
See, there you go. That's what I was going for.
How long do you have to remain blue?
How long do I have to remain blue? Yes. I was thinking about just letting it go for like a couple of weeks. And then I'll shave it all off.
I will do no such thing.
Yeah. I thought it'd be fun. Something to do. I've always thought about dyeing my hair blue. I went on a vacation with one of my exes a while ago. Oh god, years ago now. And one of the places we went to had that all those funky hair dye colors, like the blue and the fucking purple and just every fucking color you could conceive of. And I, as a joke, I said to her, I was like, we should do this while we're on vacation, because she was a hairstylist. She did hair. And she was like, you know what you'd have to do for that? Like, we'd have to freaking bleach your hair down. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll do it. So, and I'd always thought about doing it just as a goof, you know, because I'm a fucking guy. Like, if I don't like it, I can just fucking take a pair of clippers and fucking take the shit off. It's not a big deal. What do I care? I'm sit in fucking blue hair for 2 weeks. I don't give a shit. You know? I think it'd be fun.
Usually wears a hat anyway.
Yeah, I usually have a hat. So all you'd see is the blue beard. Just like I said, I'd be reverse Papa Smurf. The blue
You'd be a
beard and the
pirate.
fucking white face.
Bluebeard, the pirate. You'll be a pirate.
Yeah, I'd be like a pirate. Be fun.
Wonder if you really had a blue
RVT.
beard.
Yeah. Fred's got it.
I'm down with it. Yep. I think he did have a blue beard. I think
Bluebeard
he did
had a
dye
blue beard?
Yeah. I think.
That'd be interesting. I think it'd be fun. I've always wanted to do it. I think it'd be fun to do. It'd be interesting to do. I mean, even if I dyed it blue as it is now with the gray in it, it would just be like blue streaks all over the place, which would be kind of cool. But I'm going to go, I'm going to go full on. I'm going to try to get it.
Look like a bunch of Smurfs jizzed on your chin.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just fucking like running down.
Yeah. Smurfs.
Those damn Smurfs.
3 apples high.
I tell
What
you.
apples are they smoking?
I know, right? I'll tell you. First time I ever smoked weed was out of a fucking cucumber. That was a strange night. So I'm staying at my aunt and uncle's house. I can't remember when my father was that weekend or whatever. I was staying over there for the weekend, and my cousin Aaron comes fucking stumbling into the fucking house at I don't remember what time. It was real fucking late. Everybody's asleep. And he comes in and he goes into his fucking bedroom and he comes out. And he goes over to the fridge. Now, mind you, I'm 14. I've got no drug info whatsoever. I don't know any of the lingo. I don't know any of the paraphernalia. I don't know what people do to smoke it. Never touched it in my life. He gets a cucumber out of the fridge and he holds it in his hand and says, I'm going into my bedroom for a little bit. Watch out for my parents.
Yeah.
The first thought that comes, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with that
we
cucumber?
know.
I know
Where the fuck is that cucumber going, dude? Like, because he didn't bring a fucking thing of salt with him. I wasn't like, is this a midnight snack? And he came out with that fucking thing whittled into a bowl, and he's like fucking smoking it out the window. I'm like, what's that? And he's like, it's weed. Want some?
Okay.
And that was done from there. But yeah, I thought for sure he was shoving that goddamn cucumber up his ass.
My first weed story is
because
not
it's what
nearly
you
as
would have
dramatic.
What'd you smoke?
Well, no, I got out of a psychiatric facility and went to my cousin's and smoked for the first time. I had a hard drinking problem at the time, and I'd gotten myself accidentally incarcerated within the prison, or not the prison, the hospital for a night.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I don't remember much of it. I just remember a pretty lady pulling down my covers, and I'm like looking at her in a daze, and I'm like, hey, and then I felt a prick in my arm, and she'd been taking my blood, and that's when I realized I was in a hospital. And I'm like, I thought I was injured, and then like some doctors came, and they kept going, shh, you must not get upset. And I finally put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, oh, I didn't mean any of that. I was drunk. And so I had to agree to like a few hours or a few weeks of when you go and talk to people about your problems.
Oh yeah, you had to go into a treatment program.
Yeah, I did that for a while. And well, you want to know what's funny? Years later, I ended up working at that exact same hospital as a security guard. They didn't remember me or put 2 and 2 together, or I don't know how far the Canadian system goes with checking that stuff. Judging from my coworkers at the time, not very far.
Yeah, you gotta love the caliber of people.
Yeah,
that they'll hire in some places.
Yes, like when you're working security and your partner for the night is 5'2", 125 pounds, and he thinks he's 7 foot 300, and he goes into every room like he's the big dog, and you gotta then come in behind him and deal with the fact that he almost just got pile drived.
Does Steve look like he's got a filter on his camera?
Yeah, it's
everybody
weird.
Else.
He's all smeared.
Yeah, you're clear there when you bring it, but back there you look like I feel like I need new contacts. looking at the screen. I look up at Fred and I'm like, nope, everything's good.
Nope,
I can
I'm
see
good
fine.
now.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, they call it the Bigfoot filter.
I think I might have my autofocus.
Yeah, I think you got something weird going on there, bub. Because, yeah, that's focused in. Yeah, you should take some Bigfoot pictures. Fucking get that thing out there. Take some fucking
this
pictures
is how it's
with
going
it.
to be.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
Fix it.
Steve, you trying to fix anything on this show or for this show? When has that happened?
Well, I'm trying right now.
You are?
Yes.
For real? For reals?
For real. Well, if it'll come up. There it is. C920. There. Let's see.
I don't think you can do it. I have no faith in you whatsoever, Steve.
Boom.
I
He
have
fixed it. Look at that.
oh my God. How did you do it?
He's like a wizard.
Oh. You were out of focus again, Steve. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to
Leave it
Just
alone,
trying to-
Steve.
I had autofocus on. That's
Yeah, leave it alone. You'll get stuff on your hands if you
wonder
keep
if it'll
playing with
actually
that.
zoom. Let's see.
Oh damn! Look at that.
Holy
Whoa.
shit. It's like fucking zoomed in, Steve. The hell are you doing there, Bob?
I like that better. I'm going to leave it that way.
You
Yeah,
wanna leave it
nice
that
and
way?
close.
Zoomed in, Steve.
What's
There
the
you go.
exposure one do? We're going to take auto off of that too.
Yeah, are you?
Ooh.
Oh, look at you go. Trying to be all fucking artistic and creative. Listen, there's a real artist in the fucking show tonight.
Ooh, you can see my spam sign real
Oh
good.
yeah, me. Yep, yeah. Oh, the spam.
There's
Yeah,
some of his
I see.
artwork right there. Look at
Yeah,
that.
there it is.
Well, yeah, you can't see that very well. But,
It's all over the
Fix that
fucking
in a
wall,
second.
as it
Yeah,
should be.
I've learned that I have some sort of, I don't know if it's like a condition, but yeah, I'm blind to my own work, kind of. Like I've many times, like I've seen like pictures I'll like, and then my wife will be like, "Did you like that because you saw your artwork in the picture?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I just one of my friends or something posted," and you know,
Right.
it's weird. It's really weird to see that because I just don't, I don't get it.
Yeah, I have some up myself over here. There.
you need to put it in frame.
They're where I can see them, Steve.
They need to be where everybody can see them.
I don't give a shit about everybody else. I give a shit about me.
Now I
Yeah.
can't get my camera off zoom, but
It's especially tough to see older work, and you know when you progress with your technique and stuff. Yeah,
I think your older work is fabulous.
yes, I know it is, but like when you have the ability,
Yes, I know.
I know, I try. But it's right. I did a local TV show, and like we did all the talking, and I was nervous through it, and it was a lot of fun. I know the guy that did it. He used to be a VJ on Much Music, which is like the MTV of your country or our country.
Mhm.
But anyways, we did the show, and they did the big link where they show off your artwork, and I sent him a nice, awesome package of all my updated stuff, and he picked all my older stuff, and it was like it wasn't too bad.
You can't win.
Yeah, well, there wasn't enough titties in the other ones. I can understand his choices. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's when people go back and look at your older stuff. Like, I have a hard time listening to like the first few episodes of the Fortean Slip. Like, if I sit and turn them on, I'm like, "Fuck you! Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!" Fuck that shit.
I actually, if I listened to the one that when I re-listened to the show I was on last time, I muted myself out. Anytime I talked or had a long, I would just mute it and just listen to you guys. Yeah, I hate it. It's terrible.
It's see, I can listen to myself now. What was hard for me is in the beginning, because it's very, I can hear it in my voice. You know, that the nervousness, I can hear myself tripping up over shit. Whereas now I just don't care.
Yeah, well, and you have a natural fluidity after you do it so many times that eventually it becomes like, even myself, this is I'm not as nervous as I have been in the past, but I think that's a lot of
Shit,
constantly.
on this show, you shouldn't be nervous at all.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
shouldn't be nervous on this show.
listen, like I've got directions that I have to follow, like from the wife. You know, I can't say certain things. I can't.
Like what?
Well,
What are you allowed to say?
Well, no,
Steve,
like,
don't fucking try to make the man trip up. His fucking wife gave him specific instructions.
Well, like
My wife gave me instructions too, but I'm still doing the show.
Yeah, well, she's like, listen, don't get into any politics. Don't bring up Florida. Don't bring
How
up.
about
Don't
We've
bring
done
up
all of that.
Yeah, I know. No, but yeah, no. She's just sometimes my view, like I'll get on tangents where like I'll leave like comments, just random thoughts, like what if society was founded on slingshots instead of cars? So our means of transport would be slingshots. So then by consequence, what would happen? You would have to have terminals where you can land. And like, so you would have these areas where you either land on the tarmac and bounce, or if you're in a slingshot, you have to, anyways, you get my point. It's ridiculous.
No,
and I will go through this whole, and I will have in my mind's eye, and I'll try to explain it to people what I see, and ultimately they'll
Fred's
be like,
world of transportation is like fucking going to Six Flags.
Well, yeah, imagine like if you had these big, giant industrial-sized slingshots, you pull it back. I want to go to Toronto, and boom, away you go.
I'm going into Portland today.
Yeah.
Here's my ticket.
Yeah.
And then I would like to know, at what point does the society turn to one man, turn to the other man and go, there's got to be a better way to do this? Like, or do they just keep doing it forever? Like we do, you know, we know cars are great, but like, there's got to be a better way.
I just wonder if they would have had that same conversation when they decided to go down this road of slingshot transportation that they had when they fucking made the train. And they said, if man goes past 35 miles per hour, he will surely perish.
Yes. Yeah. All that kind of stuff. I imagine, honestly, like it's just one crazy guy makes a giant slingshot, gets the whole village around, says, watch, I'm telling you, this is going to work. And then he dies. And that's just the end of the story, because
he's like that fucking flat earther guy trying to fly up and see the fucking earth.
I'm not interested, like in those cartoons where the man fights the bear, and at the end it says you died somewhere between 2 and 4. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in one or the end. I like all the stuff in the middle, like the imaginary. You know, well, what if he could land a chop? Would that change the bear's? You know, like
what if he could land a chop?
Yeah. And this is why she's like, watch out, just don't go on too many of those. I know people think they're funny, but you got to remember, then people think like, you know, you're the crazy member of the family.
Oh, Jesus.
I used to do this at like schools too. Like that would be my project for the day with the kids in the after school.
Fred's version of the Jetsons is fucking slingshots.
Yeah. I actually had one kid, and he came up, and like we both had like the moment where we looked at each other and we're like, yeah, we have to put ourselves in spheres. I'm like, yes, we do.
Well, yes.
Because up until that, in my head, it was just people flying through the
just
air.
Free. Yeah. Like a crash test dummy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Big, huge fucking, those big, huge nets to catch people.
Yeah.
Well, see, I instantly went to like the news commentary. Like,
oh, yeah, that would be beautiful.
A man traveling to Galveston today was overshot by 20 miles. And landed in the middle of the
Yeah.
Like, people would stop going to any coastal regions. Like,
yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't have planes because people would just like, you know, and can you imagine like,
imagine space travel where they're shooting you straight up into the air.
Yeah.
Like, that would be fun.
Hey, William Shatner says he wants to go to space before he dies. I'm down.
Yeah.
I think going to space will kill William Shatner.
He said even if it kills him.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, I don't know. He's
up there.
He is.
Fucking Shatner's up there.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you look at certain people that you think are successful, and obviously the guy's successful. I mean, he's Captain Kirk. But, I mean, he's also a man that's had to, you know, shit every day, piss every day, put on clothes. You know,
see, here's the thing about William Shatner. Shatner decided at some point in his life, thank God, by the way, that he was just going to be a caricature of himself. And it's worked so much to his fucking benefit.
I watched a video recently. I don't remember the title because I was drawing at the time, and I don't even remember. But all the video was about camp. And what I mean is like camp in arts and entertainment. and how, like, you know, Adam West and his campy version of Batman, and how, oh yeah, it's something to do with the Joker. I know that's what the video was, but it was just showing you how certain artists will, what is the word I'm looking for? They give themselves into the camp. And like William Shatner is one of those that is really like, when he was doing the over exaggeration, you know, like he was doing a certain style of acting, and he gave himself over to it. You see it in T.J. Hooker. It's like, who the fuck does that in the Chicago streets? You know,
dude,
what
he's
I mean?
still doing it. I started watching fucking Boston Legal. How I missed fucking Boston Legal is beyond me.
I used to watch
How I
a lot of
missed that fucking show. He's brilliant in it.
Yep.
He's fucking brilliant.
There's not much that he's not brilliant in, even in that old Twilight Zone episode.
That singing career didn't do very
Oh,
well.
come on. Common People?
Yeah.
His cover of Common People is fucking... I could listen to that all day long in a loop. Shatner's the best.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to see him get shot into space, though. Especially if it was in Fred's slingshot thing.
Oh man,
yeah,
you know,
no,
just
crazy.
just a sphere with fucking Bill Shatner in it.
No, here's my dream. It's William Shatner, Adam West, and Terry Bradshaw all in the same sphere.
Well, Adam West is dead.
Well, so what? We'll bring him back.
Makes it much more interesting.
Imagine that wake up call.
Oh God!
Man, I'm in space.
Yeah.
That would.
When did Adam West die?
A year and a half ago. I was at a Comic-Con when it happened. It was Batman Day that he died too.
But he's a guy. You're right, Fred. Who he led himself. He led himself over to the camp.
Yeah.
He, a Family Guy. His portrayal of the mayor is it's total him just fucking giving into it.
Oh, I remember what it was. It was all in reference to Emperor Palpatine's performance in the prequels, and how like he let him, Ian McDermott or whatever, led himself into the camp, and that's why it's so over the top. And even when you go back and he's talking to Anakin in that play thing with the snakes, and it's like the subtle turns, and who does that in a conversation? You know what I mean? Like it's very campy, but that's what we want. We want that.
In some cases, yes. I think in the case of William Shatner, I think him just giving into the caricature of himself has done nothing but a good thing. Those Priceline commercials were just him making fun of himself for fucking years. And that's where he went with it, and God love him for it. Because it's been great.
Making bank too.
I've enjoyed him for years. I enjoy him in interviews. I've enjoyed him on screen. I don't know how many times I've watched fucking Wrath of Khan or The Undiscovered Country. Like those fucking two are probably my favorite Star Trek movies of all time.
Yeah, like growing up, my dad's major influences for me, like through my dad, were like his heroes, and it was Captain Kirk, Elvis Presley, and Bruce Lee. So, I mean, all about the swagger and the manly man.
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Not yet. I want to. I've heard that some Bruce Lee fans don't enjoy it.
See,
I know that it's
okay. Here's the thing. All right, the people who are pissed off about the portrayal of Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, fuck off. And here's why. Okay, Tarantino makes movies. He makes movies about shit that doesn't really happen. In this movie, there's shit that was supposed to happen that doesn't happen. Like his portrayal, the portrayal of Bruce Lee is, again, it's an over exaggeration. It's supposed to be funny. You're supposed to laugh at it. Like that's what it's in the movie for. It wasn't to poke fun at Bruce Lee. It was just
a character to serve a story.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing, like, and that's what I mean. Like, a lot of those people that dislike that are the same people that still believe in that whole martial arts type thing.
They think that he needs to be put on a fucking pedestal everywhere, everywhere he's portrayed. And listen, it's just, sorry.
Mixed martial arts has shown that that type of fighting, while entertaining and athletic and awesome, is really it's not real, not reality. You know, 135, 145 pound man. Yes, he can do damage. Of course he can. And if he's fighting a much larger opponent, I'm sure he's going to take into account that. But it's not going to look like it does in the movies. It's going to look more like you see when you watch UFC and stuff like that. Like it's going to be ugly, and nobody likes getting punched in the face for real. No,
it tends to hurt.
Yeah, it does.
Not a fan.
No. I used to think I liked it when I was an alpha male, but I realized people that declare themselves are alpha males aren't usually alpha males. So they they're like, they want everyone to know, hey, I'm the big lion in the room. And they're like, fuck it.
There's a country song called The Winner, and the guy's talking about how much he got beat up all his life and he's lost all his teeth.
Yeah.
And he's like, that makes me the winner, I guess. You know, that kind of thing. Like,
well, I mean, look at one of the baddest people on the planet, at least at one point, Mick Foley.
I actually recently got to meet him in person.
I mean, he just looks like a fat dude missing teeth.
Yeah.
And I promise you, he earned every tooth that he's lost.
Mick is one of the few that...
Mick's an entertainer.
He is, but like there's two different types of professional wrestlers that I've met. Like the big pros, they're like, and I mean this physically, they're very similar in, like, you know, that they're athletes and stuff, but there's the normal guy that becomes a professional wrestler, and he will look like a normal fella that usually has a good build, or he's got some fat, you know, whatnot. And then there's these weird, what do you call that when you're on one end of the spectrum? Outlier. There are these outliers where they're just bigger. Their bones seem bigger, their body, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know he's 6'3", but he looks like a way bigger 6'3" than my friend Tony down the street. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Mick was one of those, like, even though he had lost a lot of weight, he was only about 260 when I met him, maybe 250. Like, he looked great. He was thin, but like still big. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. The guy has legitimate baseball mitts for hands. Like, I mean, like, massive bone, and not all the wrestlers are like that. I've met a few that aren't like that. Like, you'd figure Animal from Legion of Doom would have that kind of, but he's not. He's a big guy, but he's not that kind of. He's one of those ones when you meet him, you're like, oh, I thought you would be bigger, even though he's huge. Whereas other guys, it's just like, wow, they're like Mark Henry I met, and they say he's 6'3", 350 pounds, and the man I met was the size of a small chimney. Like, he was just like, he was way taller than me, way bigger, and you know, that's just a bigger human.
Yeah, but whenever I saw you in the photos with him, that was the first time that I ever realized exactly how big you are.
Oh, I'm not a small guy, but yeah, I'm not.
But that made you feel small.
Well, it's weird because, like, I always imagine these moments when I'd meet these wrestlers, I would be my young version, my 275-pound powerlifting version, not the 47-year-old yoga version. But the truth is that the 40-year-old yoga version is healthier than the younger powerlifting, weightlifting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm able to draw longer. I'm able to be healthier. I don't carry as much weight. But those guys are just, and some of them are just like Ken Shamrock. I met him, and it's just like, dude, you just reek testosterone. It just comes off you, like manly man. Like I wanted to start punching guys in the shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, like, he ended up getting one of the guys to arm wrestle him and lost. He still, like, he sent me messages because I accidentally made a post saying, you know, how he lost to my friend, and I didn't lose. Yeah, no, you didn't. No,
you're right.
No, sir, you did not.
I don't know what I was thinking, Mr. Shamrock. I'm sorry.
Let me correct myself.
Yeah, but they're all really nice guys. Like, I mean, I haven't had any awkward experiences. Has been me when, like, I try to say something witty and it comes out, you know, like I try, or worse, I'll try to explain my slingshot theory to a professional wrestler. You know what I mean? And he'll be just like, "What the?"
Okay, you know how, like, whenever you're coming off the ropes, it's like that if the other ropes weren't there.
Yes.
Yeah. Imagine if you went to go hit the ropes to take out that guy, but instead you landed in Ontario.
Wouldn't that be great? I imagine the pro wrestler would be like, let me show you something, bud. Stand up on the top rope and just drop on your ass and see how that goes for you. Oh my, this isn't going to work.
We need to rethink this whole thing.
I'd go back to the kid that was came up with the spheres. He was like,
no, we gotta go with the spheres, kid. We gotta go with the spheres.
But I often think, like, it may sound ridiculous, but like, how ridiculous did the Wright brothers sound the first time? Like you said, no man will ever go past 35 miles an hour. Yeah. It's just we always set up these.
They believed that shit. Yeah. They actually firmly believed that shit. There were people who were like, "No, we can't do this." Like the fucking inside, their insides will like liquefy.
Yep.
What are you, fucking high?
Yeah.
Even Steve Jobs is famous for saying, I think it was Steve Jobs, was famous for saying, nobody will ever need more than 256K of memory.
Oh yeah.
So those, I mean,
I will never forget the first computer I bought. The guy who was selling it to me sold me a 10 gigabyte hard drive. And he's like, dude, you will never fill this. Really?
I got a 1 terabyte and I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I didn't come into computers until, almost early 2000s. Like maybe, 2010 almost. Maybe like right around the time I started doing YouTube and stuff. It had only been a couple of years. I had a computer, but I looked at it like it was, Satan in the corner. Be like, I will not touch you. You are nothing but evil. And then I figured out how to use porn. And I'm like, oh, well, this is easy. This thing's great.
Porn is a great equalizer when it comes to computers.
Porn, Big Brother can come into my house anytime they want.
And then I'm realizing my porn searches are helping me actually learn how to log anatomy? In and they always help in anatomy. Those ladies get in positions you just can't find on regular sites.
They didn't teach me this in high school.
No.
Ain't that the truth? On that note, I'm gonna wrap this up. Fred, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, it was a blast. Yeah.
This has been the Fortean Slip episode 117, 2019, the year in review. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Check out our good friend. We're gonna switch it up today. Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn. Check out Matt Knapp over at Bigfoot Crossroads, youtube.com/Bigfoot Crossroads and youtube.com/Cryptid Tales. As always, check us out on Anchor at anchor.fm/The Fortean Slip. And like I said, if I hit 1,000 downloads in a week, I will make myself look like a fucking anime character. Check out Richard Allen's comic strip, Bigfootin' with Keith and Colin. Every once in a while, it makes me chuckle.
It does.
Every once in a while. Not all the time.
No, but the chuckles are worth it when you get them.
They are.
Yeah.
And check out our good friend, Para Breakdown, joining the show late today at youtube.com/Para Breakdown. Good old Phil. And he did a breakdown of, not really a breakdown, a video about Todd's little adventure video.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. But welcome to 2020, everybody. If you get a chance, you can go see my wonderful drunken New Year's Eve night episode where I decided to just go live after drinking Fireball whiskey all night, and then I puked right after the show. However, miraculously, I puked and felt fucking fabulous instantly. It's happened to me like maybe 3 times in my life, but never like this. I puked and felt fucking great. Everything's wonderful. I was ready to just go on with my day. But thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We will be back next week with a show about DMT and aliens.
Oh, man. Nice.
That should be interesting. Until then, see ya!